A warm welcome to you here on News Hour, this hour on TV Sapiencia. The top stories today. The Nigerian Society of Engineers has identified faulty designs and poor quality materials as the primary causes of structural failures in the construction industry in Nigeria. A popular United States of America televangelist, Jimmy Swaggart, has died at the age of 90 after a brief illness, his family announced in a post on his verified Instagram page on Tuesday yesterday. Atlanta have made it clear that Nigerian forward Ademola Lookman will only leave the club this summer if a suitable offer is placed on the table, with the Serie A side refusing to entertain any negotiations below their valuation. My name is Chioma Vic Chukwemeka. Welcome. The Nigerian Society of Engineers has identified faulty designs and poor quality materials as the primary causes of structural failures in the construction industry. This assertion was made on Tuesday yesterday by the NSE President, Mrs. Margaret Oguntola, during a public lecture and the induction of new members to mark the 2025 Engineering Week in Damaturu. Oguntola, represented by the NSE Vice President Usman Tijani, emphasized the importance of adhering to standard practices to avoid delays, cost overruns, and outright collapse. She highlighted the safety concerns and long-term economic implications of such failures, describing the theme, construction of flyover and other related engineering infrastructures, as timely. The NSE President commended the Abia State government's commitment to infrastructural development and engineering excellence, citing the ongoing construction of Damaturu's first flyover as a prime example. However, she cautioned that such ambitious projects require thorough structural integrity assessments, accurate soil testing, proper design and quality control to ensure durability and safety. In Anambra State, the state government has condemned the killing of 13 people in the Ogboji community, Orumba South local government area. Some gunmen reportedly stormed the area in 2 SUVs on Monday and opened fire during a monthly meeting, killing several people and shooting into the air before fleeing. In a statement today, Wednesday, the Commissioner for Information, Lomefo, described the attack as a dastardly act and offered condolences to the families of the victims. Mefo clarified that the attack was not aimed at any specific ethnic group or state and said early investigations point to an internal dispute. He added that the state government expects the police to thoroughly investigate the matter and ensure those responsible are brought to justice. The All Rights Foundation, TAF Africa, has launched a 2-day Able to Vote workshop aimed at bridging media and disability community for inclusive electoral participation in Anambra State ahead of November 8, 2025 governorship election. Supported by the European Union through its support to democratic governance in Nigeria, EU SDGN, TAF Africa is an independent, non-governmental organization committed to advancing the right and inclusion of persons with disabilities and other vulnerable groups in Nigeria. The workshop featured 3 intensive modules, including understanding disability and intersection in elections, a breakdown of Section 54 of the Electoral Act 2022 and what it guarantees for voters with disabilities. George Anwai, Senior Programs Officer, TAF Africa, stated that persons with disabilities often face physical, informational, and attitudinal barriers that impact on their fundamental right to vote and be voted for. Executive Director of Media Rights Agenda, Adiatan Ojo, speaking on reframing media narrative on disability, emphasized the need for the media to reframe their narrative on disability and avoid stereotypes that perpetuate stigma and limit opportunities for meaningful participation in the society. He noted that the media should involve persons with disabilities in telling their own stories and use decent language. The Communication Officer, TAF Africa, Lynn Aguncha, highlighted the critical role of the media in educating and informing the public about disability inclusion in electoral process and issues of continuous voter registration in Anambra State, as well as monitor the deployment of assistive tools by INEC to support persons with disabilities in voting. The forum, which was interactive, featured questions and answer session. TAF Africa, founded in 2006 with a focus on person with albinism, is working to improve the political participation of marginalized communities, particularly persons with disabilities and internally displaced persons. Away from that, but still on election, the Independent National Electoral Commission is planning to issue a supplementary document to its 2022 regulations and guidelines to clarify procedures for reviewing election results, particularly under Section 65 of the Electoral Act. The INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, disclosed these at the second quarterly consultative meeting with resident electoral commissioners in Abuja on Tuesday yesterday. The Commission is preparing for a packed electoral calendar, including 5 major elections within the next 13 months. These include by-elections in 12 states on August 16, 2025, the Anambra State governorship election on November 8, 2025, area council elections in the FCT on February 21, 2026, the Ekiti governorship election on June 20, 2026, and the Osun governorship election on August 8, 2026. Yakubu emphasized the need for consistent commitment at the state level, noting that the success of Nigeria's elections depends on year-round efforts. On the news, we move right now to Abia State, where the government has warned public school teachers against all forms of misconduct, dereliction and negligence of duty, stressing that such actions will henceforth attract severe consequences. The executive chairman of the Abia State Universal Basic Education Board, Lady Lydia Onoha, issued the warning on Tuesday at her office in Omahia. She expressed concern over the growing trend of irregular attendance and absenteeism among some public school teachers, despite the administration of Governor Alex Otti's sustained efforts to improve their welfare. She warned that such behavior would attract disciplinary measures, including queries, suspension and dismissal in accordance with the Public Service Rules and Teachers Code of Conduct. Onoha described the situation as unacceptable, calling it a gross breach of professional ethics and a betrayal of trust placed in educators to shape the minds of future generations. The Registrar and Chief Executive Officer of the National Business and Technical Examinations Board, Dr. Mohammed, said Nigeria's economic recovery and future prosperity lie in reviving vocational and technical education. Mohammed made this declaration yesterday, Tuesday, during a monitoring visit to 2 technical schools, that's the Government Technical College, Agidingbi, Ikeja, and Federal Technical College, Yaba, Lagos, where he assessed the ongoing NABTEB examinations. The registrar, impressed by the facilities at the Government Technical College, Agidingbi, Ikeja, and the conduct of the examinations, commended the Lagos State government for its commitment to technical and vocational education. He further emphasized the importance of the visit as part of his responsibility to ensure that the NABTEB exams are properly conducted across the nation. Away from Nigeria right now, a popular United States of America televangelist, Jimmy Swaggart, has died at the age of 90 after a brief illness. His family announced in a post on his verified Instagram page on Tuesday. According to the statement, the family described him as a preacher who poured his life into the gospel and led many to Christ. Swaggart, who owns a multi-million-dollar ministry and a huge audience, was born in 1935 into a poor music enthusiast family in Faraday, Louisiana, USA. The Louisiana native was best known for being a captivating Pentecostal preacher with a massive following. Born on March 15, 1935 in Faraday, Louisiana, Swaggart grew up poor as the son of a preacher in a music-rich family. He excelled at piano and gospel music, playing and singing with talented cousins who took different parts. Rock and roller Jerry Lee Louis and country singer Mickey Gilly. Well, from that story, we move to sports right now, where Atlanta have made it clear that Nigerian forward Ademola Lookman will only leave the club this summer if a suitable offer is placed on the table, with the Serie A side refusing to entertain any negotiations below their valuation, according to Italian newspaper Le Bombe di Vlad. The Bergamo-based club is not shutting the door on Lookman's exit, but have placed a significant price tag of between 45 million euros and 50 million euros on the 2024 African Footballer of the Year. The Italian outlet further noted that despite interest from several top European sides, including Arsenal, Liverpool, Paris Saint-Germain, Juventus and Napoli, none has submitted an offer that meets Atalanta's demands. Barcelona reportedly viewed Lookman as a plug-and-play reinforcement for their front line, but their approach fell short of expectations. Arsenal, who is in the market for a winger, have revived their interest in the former RB Leipzig forward, while Napoli have emerged as a late contender. Juventus, meanwhile, is said to be monitoring the situation closely. We are following up on the story and we keep updating. Well, that wraps it up on the news this hour. A quick reminder of our top stories. We told you that the Nigerian Society of Engineers has identified faulty designs and poor quality materials as the primary causes of structural failures in the construction industry. A popular United States of America televangelist, Jimmy Swaggart, has died at the age of 90 after a brief illness. His family announced in a post on his verified Instagram page on Tuesday. Atlanta have made it clear that Nigeria forward Ademola Lookman will only leave the club this summer if a suitable offer is placed on the table, with the Serie A side refusing to entertain any negotiations below their valuation. Many thanks for joining us this day. And my name is Chioma Victor. Thanks for watching. Do stay with us. Good afternoon from here.